None of us would have thought anyone would ever vote against him to get in, right?
No.
To me, like the only case against Bill is I think he's going to coach in the NFL again. They put in Joe Gibbs and he came back. So there have been cases of this in the past. For all the crap that's happened in the last 6, Bill's automatic.
Bert Breer making his first appearance.
I appreciate that.
Post-victory.
T-Bone, that's nice. Yeah.
Over Michigan on Saturday.
It's been, 6 years?
Wasn't much of a ball game, Bert.
Well, they count the forfeit in 2020 when they used COVID as an
Jesus,
excuse not to play.
There we go.
They kicked your ass for 4
the
straight
cheating.
years.
The cheating is kind of like
cheating. People really believe they cheated. Come on.
There's a lot of evidence that they cheated, actually. But anyway, we don't need to get into
But you
that.
think
It's
they
over
use it-
now.
they use it in games.
The streak is over. The streak's over now. And it was a good Saturday. That 18-play drive in the snow, right down their throats to run the clock out.
In their conditions, right?
In their conditions, and then
Because it never snows in Columbus.
Well, no, because like if you follow this, like I swear to God, every Michigan account all week was like monitoring the weather. That's why it's a big deal, because it's like they act as if we can't play in those conditions. It's them that started that, and so yeah, it was a little sad, a little more. There's a little extra to it when we're running the ball, took the air out of the ball together.
I love this.
Right down Main Street in the snow in their place, and then they stand on the logo
to protect it.
Which means they must have organized that while the game was still going on. Right? Like that was what was important to them. Not like let's stop them from continually kicking our ass up and down the field. Let's figure out how we can make sure that they don't play at the flag. And then our coach,
you think Underwood's
told
any
the players get off. I don't know, man. Like he is talented, but
he's talented, but like it doesn't feel like he's coached.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Do you know who the offensive coordinator is, though?
Who?
It's the guy that screwed up Drake Mays last year at North Carolina.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, like, remember how the whole story on Drake coming out was like that last year the offense sucked and the scheme was a mess. The offensive coordinator at North Carolina that year is now the offensive coordinator at Michigan.
Like, every ball's 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
No touch.
He has a ton of talent.
Yes, he does.
I don't know about, like, the makeup. And, like, I do have to question it. Like, if a kid said he was going to LSU for development and then took a check to go to Michigan, like, you have to wonder what his motivation is, to some degree. So, which I don't blame him.
He's driving a Lambo.
I don't blame him for taking the money, but at the same time, there's that element of it, like, which is, like, what's driving you right now.
Right.
So, the Ohio State quarterback looked pretty good, though.
He was at Bama, huh?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So they got him and Downs from Bama when Saban left.
Smart.
Yeah. So.
Well, welcome in, Bert. It's great to have you here. You are, as always, brought to us by your New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado, where dependability comes standard. Let's ask you the question we've been talking about for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Kraft and Belichick, both up for Hall of Fame honors. If you had to pick one to get in, which one you take?
I would take Bill. But that's nothing against Robert. That's just I'd always take a player over a coach and a coach over an owner. Like that's just a philosophical thing for me. I think they both deserve to get in. I think there's a good chance that Robert has to wait again, and I think here's the reason why. And
Wow.
I talked to a voter this on my way in because I knew you guys were going to ask me about this, and it's a guy who I lean on for some of this stuff. He's a veteran voter. It's not Peter. If anybody's guessing that it's Peter, it's not Peter.
Peter King. I'm like, right? Who?
It's not Peter King, because that's what people would automatically guess.
Peter King.
I would tell you guys, like, what this guy said to me is he thinks that Bill is automatic.
A lock.
Okay. Like, there is no question he's going in, and no one wants to be the person who votes against him. Okay? So from there, you have to understand the way the math of this works. It's hard to get more than one person in from this pool of 5 people because of the math. So think about it this way. There are 50 people voting, okay? All right? 150 votes are available, okay? So one person takes 50 of those votes if Bill sweeps, okay? That means there are 100 votes left. Kraft would have to win 40 of those 100 votes competing against 3 other people, and that's tough. That's a lot. You know what I mean? So it's like 80% is a high bar.
So what you're saying is Bill becoming eligible this particular year actually hurts Robert's chances of getting in.
Yes. because generally what makes it hardest, what makes it easy, what will create the scenario where there would be multiple people from that pool of 5 going in is if everybody's even. If you have one person who's automatic, who's sweeping the vote, basically it turns into, instead of it being 3 people trying to get 5 spots, it becomes 2 people trying to get 4 spots. Does that make sense? Because they have to, because you vote for 3 out of the 5. So instead of 3 for 5, now it's 2 for 4. And they're naturally hurting each other with the way that they, like, so somebody really likes LC Greenwood, or somebody believes that a player should get in over an owner. Like I said, like if that's a philosophical thing. So like, I think again, this is somebody I really trust that I was talking to who votes on this stuff, who said to me, like, he thinks, like, it's just his opinion, this is one opinion, but he thinks this is maybe not so much Robert versus Bill as Robert versus the other 3 guys, with Bill sort of rubber stamped to go in.
LC Greenwood should do well in this.
And Roger Craig is a real case, too.
Roger Craig's a damn good player, and L.C. Greenwood was a member of the Steel Curtain.
Yeah. So that's where I think
I say he was as good or better than Joe Green.
I'm kind of surprised that LC Greenwood's not in.
I am too.
I was
I'm
too.
stunned.
I didn't know that.
He was a better
this week.
He was a
and
better
I'm
pass
thinking,
rusher than Joe Green. Joe Green was more of a nose.
Like,
guy.
I just haven't thought about it in these terms of going up against the other players. We've just been talking about Robert and Bill.
But if Bill is automatic, then that takes 50 votes out. You know what I mean?
And
So like
there's
now it's
100
like
remaining
so now
votes.
it's like you got it now on those ballots. You got to be one of the other 2 names instead of one of 3 names.
As I think about this,
So he has to have, and I'm not saying he doesn't have that support, but he has to have. If Bill does sweep,
Yeah, so
then he has to have really strong support in the room.
what if the other portion of the vote is just completely broken up and divided?
Then no one might go.
It might be Bill only getting in.
right. If it's only like if it winds up being like, I don't know what the math would be, but if it was like, okay, so we're talking about 200%, like I guess is the total, right? Because it's 2 more votes, then everyone could get.
This math is too much.
I know.
There's 50 voters?
Right. Okay. But like 75% doesn't get you in. You need 40 votes. And if 50 votes are gone, then you're left with 100 votes. It's like 2 votes per person. And Kraft has to have 40 of those. Yeah. And again, like this is in the scenario that Bill sweeps, which isn't automatic, but I think it's definitely possible because I don't think any of us before this North Carolina stuff, like none of us would have thought anyone would ever vote against him to get in, right?
No.
And like if you strongly believe in like we don't want to make anybody wait, like this isn't a first ballot thing, the guy just should be in, then like the only case against Bill now is, to me, like the only case against Bill is I think he's going to coach in the NFL again, but they put in Bill Walsh while he was coaching at Stanford.
Yeah.
They put in Joe Gibbs and he came back. So there have been cases of this in the past, and I don't know. I mean, I think Bill would be automatic for all the crap that's happened in the last 6. Bill's automatic. You know what I mean? Like that's not even like, to me. There's not even a discussion point.
Could there be somebody that says, I don't know, Spygate, Deflategate? But again, if somebody's holding that against them, they're going to hold that against Kraft as well too.
Here's the other thing at committee. So they put like Mike Holmgren was the coaches committee guy last year, and I thought Mike Holmgren shouldn't be. Because I thought Mike Shanahan should be, because half the league is running his offense, and he's won multiple Super Bowls, and so to me,
Kyle's dad.
Whatever. Mike's, either way. So you have Holmgren and you have Shanahan, and Bill just leapfrogged both of them. Sailed right through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bill on his first try just leapfrogged both of them, and he should have leapfrogged both of them. He's won 6 Super Bowls,
right?
But I think that shows you, like, at least on that committee, there was a strong Belichick sentiment, or else he would have had to wait behind somebody. They didn't make him wait behind anybody.
They're ushering him right through to getting his gold jacket, and he might end up being the only guy getting in. That's on the table.
Right, like if it's like, again, I don't know like the math, but like if everybody does, like, say one guy gets 60%, another guy gets 60%, another guy gets 20% of the remaining 4, then no one gets in of those 4.